Okay, guys, guys,
What?
shut up. What is what is your opinion on Potbelly on Sugabush Island?
This Potbelly on Shugabush
Papa,
Island.
Billy,
Yeah,
Papa,
Potbelly's
Papa,
pretty
Billy.
good.
Good island. Thank you all for choosing a good island. Potbelly's sick.
Oh yeah, this is like an actual amazing island, and we finally get to talk about good sides.
Okay, now.
Listen, Potbelly is
Any kinds of issues with Potbelly at all?
no, it doesn't play enough. That's my issue.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
you're not really
Actually,
meant to
no,
pay
that's
attention.
not true. It plays the perfect amount.
Okay, the only issue that the Potbelly has isn't even an issue with this Potbelly specifically. Just an issue with Potbelly in general is that they don't really use the two head gimmick that much. Well, they do use it a tiny bit for the end of its track, but it's not utilized as much as it could be.
Yeah.
Not being as good as it could be doesn't mean it's not good in general. It's still amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's still amazing in the song.
Potbelly's busted in the song. He's like the perfect shake-up since he comes in the second verse. So you got that hype ass like feel good chorus verse, and you got Potbelly coming in with the uplifted melody, and you're like, yeah, I'm jamming, I'm schmoovin' and groovin'.
Yeah.
He's really good on this island.
He is sick. Potbelly is sick.
Yeah, you know who's sicker than Potbelly?
Sugabush.
No, it's Octopus
Island.
because he has root rot.
It's called Rit Rot, actually.
Rit rot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You see where I was going though. I
We
laid
were
the
just
piece.
talking about this verse, and now we're gotta talk about the melody of this verse, and this is the best octopus in the game.
Well, in the main game.
Yeah, obviously. That's why I said the game.
Alright. But yeah, I can agree. Octopus is like actually broken on this island.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's just like, cause like, Octopus's melody never really existed in the original Lover Money. So then like, that's the one thing you get out of Sugarbush Island that you don't get out of Lover Money is you just have the octopus melody. Guys, octopus melody. This is something completely new.
Octopus.
Yeah, an octopus melody that more importantly doesn't get covered up by anything.
Okay, literally. Here's the sick thing about the song. Okay, so it's like it's hard to realize, but like the entire song is based on the exact same verse, like over and over again. Technically, it's like no crazy differences, and it'd be a pretty simple song. But Octopus's Octopus, it wouldn't be a different verse. It would just be this chorus verse again. But Octopus perfectly makes it a different verse.
Yeah. It's like a calm down after the chorus.
Yeah.
Also, it's a very minor thing, but he plays off of Sugavox really well. Like in that
He plays off
verse
of
where they
everyone
kind of
around him really well.
that verse where him and Sugavox kind of have that back and forth thing going, where Octopus plays, then Sugavox plays, then Octopus plays again.
Yeah, it's great.
That part
And
is
then
jamming.
it's satisfying later on when he gets to sing just on his own. Shoo-a-doo-a-doo-a-day, shoo-a-doo-a-doo, shoo-a-doo-a-doo-a-day, like twice in a row, because he usually doesn't do that. Usually it's like once, then stop, then once, and then when he does it twice together, it feels special and
Yeah.
like a different verse.
It's such a simple melody, but they do so much with it.
And then here's something that's really, really important to know. I'd say, like, it's not song related, but this island, like, just like touch of like this detail of having it be so, since it's Octopus teleported to a completely different island. On his head, he has a nest that has the birds from Plant Island, like the critters.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
adorable.
It's such a great extra detail, and it makes the world feel so much more lived in.
Man, every monster is just like OP on this island.
Yeah,
This
like
is gonna
we
be a
just talked
broken
about Potbelly.
Should we do all the naturals and then do the fam, or should we like mingle?
I think we should
naturals
mingle because
are done.
I feel like we should mingle because a lot like the Sugar Fam is great, but a lot of them kind of do the same thing.
I was gonna say that we should do the naturals first, so we get like that all done, and then we can like go more into like more like
Like
you
the
know
actual juice
thing that
of the
brings it all.
song.
Yeah, the beef of the song.
Fair.
Well, in that case, how about the other like OP disgustingly OP thing that's in this one that you don't get in Lover Money, which is Quibble.
Bro, this Quibble is literally the most slept on track in all of MSM. Actually, literally.
As an individual track, it is not impressive compared to Gold Island, but like Quibble's individual track on Shugabush isn't as good, but Quibble on Gold Island is 10 times better than on Shugabush Island is 10 times better than Quibble on Gold Island
Yeah.
because it does so much while doing so little. It's so minimalist yet it like does so much.
It just sounds so real because it is real, but like,
Is it real? Did he also do the Quibble?
I mean, maybe
Maybe I don't know.
because that does not sound like something you'd hear from a synthesized piano.
True. It's like
Yeah, but
another.
it sounds like Quibble's normal sound font.
It's another thing I've been kind of like. It's just a back and forth for me because I keep saying the same things over and over again. But Quibble also duets really, really well with Deej of All Monsters.
Every monster just duets well with others.
Every monster duets amazingly with every other monster on this island because everything is composed so meaningfully. Like this is another one of those things. Like again, like it's when you go down to the small details, like something that can make or break, like deciding between which island is better than the other, is if every single monster can duet with every other monsters and sound good. And Shugabush can easily do that.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. And Quibble's like it's also kind of sick because they don't like overuse it. It plays, I'm pretty sure in the second and like last verse. Because it plays
Yeah, I
with
think
Octopus.
Yeah,
it never
it's the
plays
main.
in the chorus.
It's the main thing that can tell you when what verse is what verse.
Yeah, there's like two. That's
Yeah,
Sugar
it's
Rock is the chorus and then Quibble is the verses.
Yeah.
Alright, who else do we got?
Okay, well, I think it's basically everything so far that we talked has been stuff that's not in the choruses. So now we gotta touch upon the chorus with
For corn.
yeah.
Furcorn. I like Furcorn.
I like Furcorn too. He sounds like more. It's hard to explain it, but I enjoy when Furcorn sounds like more raspy, like in a way.
So more
it's,
like Plant Island and less cold.
Yeah, like less like. It's more than, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like it's like straining. It's straining in a way.
This Furcorn is a perfect way to do a callback because the callback isn't like the juice of the verse. It's not like the main melody of the verse like it is with Firehaven Dandelion. It isn't, but it's an obvious callback, but it isn't extra melody to really just tie the whole idea together of this just being the real person's song mixed with MSM.
Yeah. It definitely just like shows a huge light on this is just a collaborative thing. It's just two worlds come together.
I'd argue that Although Furcorn is, I don't think Furcorn's the best monster on the sound by a long shot, but I think Furcorn is like the biggest way to tell that like Furcorn on Sugarbush Island is like Shugabush Island. It's just because like you can tell it's Shugabush because like it just perfectly gets across the entire idea of what Shugabush Island is with its composition.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, yeah, there's like also the bonus fact like that it's also just really, really good in the song.
Yeah.
Like you got all of that thematic relevance and like importance and impertinence, or no, I forgot the word. But you have all of that dope stuff, and then you also get to wrap it under the bow of wait a minute, this is also amazing sounding.
It's perfect for that. For like the main thing that I think of when it's playing is the one part when Sugar Beats stops playing and it's just like slight silence percussion, but like Furcorn in a way takes lead, and then it just like it's basically just the transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like
Like
their makeshift bridge.
yeah, and it works perfectly for that.
It's OP. You know what else is like disgustingly OP in the chorus?
Everything.
Mammoth.
Again with Furcorn, Mammoth just doing Mammoth things. Like it just perfectly wraps it all together because it's like Mammoth. Like you can't have Sugarbush Island without Mammoth, and you can't have like I don't know what I'm saying because it's just like it's the same thing as Furcorn. It's like bro, you put Mammoth in here, and Mammoth is being amazing and also being Mammoth. It's beautiful in a way.
Yeah,
It's poetic.
I
It's
think
deep.
this is the
This is
best
so deep.
Mammoth animation ever
Oh
because
yeah.
I think Mammoth's like the best way to define Mammoth's personality is just like jolly, jovial. He's just happy and he wants to help others out. Like it's a pretty like basic personality, but Mammoth's always felt like he's supposed to be, and he does that so perfectly here because like he doesn't do crazy like break dances or something, but just like his simple dancing and swaying to the song, like stomping his feet. It's like the perfect Mammoth animation.
He's just having a good time. Although now, I wouldn't be totally against seeing Mammoth breakdance.
I mean,
That
you're
doesn't.
right. That'd be sick to see. I feel like that'd be a great thing to put in the next trailer since he's probably going to be on the last Magical
Oh yeah,
Island.
probably.
Anyway, I mean, like, I think so. Wait, yeah, he is on the next one because the next one is like, because those are the only elements left. But that's
Yeah,
completely unrelated.
you're
And
right.
the point I'm making is Mammoth on Shugabush Island knows what he's doing and he's amazing on, and it's one of the most mammoths ever.
Yeah.
Although something that I did do notice is that it doesn't really like pack the same bassy punch as classic like plant mammoth does because nothing really has ever gotten back to that. And that'd be like the one thing to make mammoth even more mammoth is if he just had the bass that he's normally having.
Alright, I like the sentiment, but at the same time, if they gave Mammoth that bassiness, that would have kind of just made one of the monsters on this island kind of bad.
Which one?
Sugar Base. Because that's kind of his job on this island.
Yeah, but like there's been islands that has both a base, a castle base, and a base monster.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the base monster
Snizer.
usually takes priority, except for when your snails are on Oasis.
Listen, what I'm saying is, I'm saying the base monster does take priority, and I'm saying that could happen again. Sugar base obviously would take priority, but Mammoth having his base in this would just feel like the little sprinkle on top.
I guess. I don't know.
It's hard to get too much base. Great thing.
we are breezing through these naturals. So we got 2 left. Both of them are pretty alright in my eyes. I don't think any of them are anything special.
Yeah, the 2 naturals, Deej and Shugabush.
No. You know what? We'll start with Deej because you want to start with Deej apparently.
What? Okay, yeah, we'll start with Deej.
Deej doesn't get a lot to work with on this
Wait, so
island.
we're talking about Deej?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
on Deej.
Deej is like great support percussion.
Yeah, he's not meant to do a lot. He's just there to provide that little bit of oomph.
I don't understand why Deej is on this island. He's very out of place compared to everyone else. Because every other monster is like the huge, major, iconic monsters in the game, like basically the mascots. And Deej like really doesn't make much sense. But that's not a bad thing. It's just like, huh, Deej of all monsters, you know?
Yeah.
You'd be like, huh, I wonder why they do that. But also, it like works out perfectly in the end. It's just like, oh, I guess that's why.
I guess they just like wanted a quad and like every other quad would have been too much.
I mean, look at the Colossal. It has like earbuds, and then the trees have speakers in them. I feel like Deej fits at least a little bit.
It fits
True.
thematically, it just doesn't fit relevance wise.
Yeah, because like every other, because like I don't know, like I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I'm just saying like if you want to do a quad, Emperor would make more sense. If you want to just do iconic, better option on the surface, like when it comes to just the mascots. And so it's weird that they chose Deej, but it's also a really good thing
It's
because it's like,
respectable.
yeah, Deej deserves more respect in general. Honestly, Deej
He's
is
just
like
a
like
flexible
slept on
monster.
monster. He's usually very overpowered, like Cold Island, Space Island, Continent.
Continent, yeah.
Those, those are all his islands, and he's great on all of them. But he's just always been a slept on monster. The background. This is another case of that because he obviously can't take main percussion. That's Sugarbeat's job. But also, the song would get boring if it only had that as the only percussion. So Deej is like, just like the perfect like mix up percussion wise to just keep the song always flowing, always feeling different, and making it work.
Hmm. I don't really have anything else to add on to that.
The best part about Deej is, it's the best moneymaker on Shugabush Island if you care about that shit.
Oh, this is a quad. Actually, the best money marker is Red Deej.
You know, he got you there, Ryan.
I got owned.
Alright, and that leaves us with the last natural on the island, the infamously joked about sound that is Pom Pom.
But would you give her wops?
I would not give her wops.
I would not give her wops.
I might get a disease. Have you seen that concept art?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of Pom Pom on this island?
I think it's alright.
Pom Pom just does like little enough to where it's not annoying and it actually benefits the song.
Pom Pom is like, it has a low potential ceiling, so if they make it good, that's good enough for me.
That's fair. Pom Pom's good enough on this island. It's good in the intro as like the thing for Sugar Fox to play off.
Yeah, it's a nice, calm, subtle pom pom melody, which you don't actually see often. You don't usually get subtle pom poms.
Yeah,
I think that's why this
they
Pom
usually try to
Pom
make
works.
Pom Pom. Yeah, Pom Pom works best when it's not like. Cause a lot of the times you see be Air Islands or uh, Earth Island where it tries to take main melody for a verse, or Gold Island, another one.
Yeah, well, Gold
In
Island
cases like
kind of
Space,
succeeds.
try because in like it's not its two best islands are just Space and Sugarbush because those are the times when it's, instead of playing the entire verse as the main melody, it's the counter melody, and it works a lot better that way.
Yeah, it's almost like that's how cheerleaders are supposed to work.
Hmm.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
Yeah. It doesn't help that they had made Hula a monster. So
Oh
Pom
yeah.
Pom's counter melody is Pom Pom again.
All right, we got all the naturals out of the way, and that leaves us with the big boys.
I think we have to
Ooh.
start with the main man.
Yeah.
Sugabush?
Sugar.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a stupid one. Yeah, Shugabush. Let's go.
All right, I
Oh,
gotta express
yeah.
my bias a little bit because I love mandolins.
Me too.
They are so pleasant.
Very calming to hear one. It's like if a banjo wasn't as crackheady. You know, it's like
That's
no.
one way
Hear
to
me
describe
out.
it.
Mandolins are like soft core banjo. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
softcore banjo.
That is a good way to describe it, honestly, though.
either way, it's great in the song.
Shugabush is super simple on this island, but like I'm pretty sure he might play almost the entire song. Like he is like he's not like a bass, but he's the perfect like to just build everything up. It's perfect for that,
I'm
and
pretty
it's also
sure,
great
yeah.
because like honestly, it makes perfect sense. Because here's the thing: if you want to get your Shugabush Island started, basically the first monster you have to teleport has to be Shugabush. So you have a strong basis to know exactly what you're getting into with everything. And then also it gets into like being able to duet perfectly with everything. Like Shugabush with hot
Sugabush,
belly, that's fire. No matter what you teleport, it's gonna be fire. You're gonna be
Sugabush,
like,
like
bro,
from a gameplay standpoint, is flawless.
But then people are gonna
ooh,
say,
this
but Sugarbush doesn't speak, bro. He's worse than Plant Island because he doesn't speak.
being worse than
Wow,
Plant Island Shugabush
shocker!
is
He's
okay.
worse
Being worse
than
than
perfection. Oh no.
I don't like that's like being worse than Plant Island Sugarbush is like being like "Ah, I'm so disappointed on myself in myself. I just found out that I actually am worse than God at uh creating life. But like seriously, Sugarbush on this island is super simplistic. It's like not the best thing on the island because everything else is so good too. But it's like again, it's just perfect. You teleport it, it gives you a taste like and then you teleport the next thing, and whatever you teleport next, it just like sets off the fireworks in your mind. It's probably gonna be Mammoth too, which is perfect too. Gameplay wise, it's gonna be probably Mammoth, Furcorn, or Potbelly. It's gonna be one of those three almost always, and you teleport them, and you're like, oh my god, that's one of, and it makes you teleport monsters and breed for them, and then it's the fun part of like figuring out the combos for these hard monsters without like having a crazy test pool like of anything like it is with natural monsters like mythical, and it's just ooh, I wonder how I breed this one. Maybe it's Sugarbush and Deej or Sugarbush and Blabbit.
Yeah, Sugarbush and Blabbit.
I still like how in Sugavox's bio it says that it uses Deej earwax, so it gives like an in-game reason as to why it's Sugabush and Deej to make Sugavox.
I think Sugarbush Island, it's also like perfectly unlocked because it unlocks right when you unlock Air Island. So like it also so that way you can't get everything right away because you have to wait until you can get yourself a pom pom. Like gameplay wise, I think Sugarbush Island is the perfect island.
Yeah, but what if you accidentally teleport your mammoth to Sugarbush Island and not to Gold Island?
Yeah, and then you're like,
You get the
wow, I can't
superior
believe it.
option.
Yeah, here's what happened. I can't instead of having Mammoth on an island that's not that great, I get Mammoth on an island that's amazing. No,
I could have gotten 1 million coins, the same amount that I could have gotten from my end rep 10 times.
exactly. Anyways, we're just rambling now. The point is, Sugarbush on the Island is super duper OP, especially gameplay wise.
Yeah.
I think
Alright,
although
well,
we should be saving for last. What do you guys think should be next?
I think I know who we're
Everything
saving for
in
last as
order.
well. But
Yeah.
listen, if we do Sugarbush, then we have to do Sugarbush, but better, Shugatar.
Does Shugatar play the
Shugatar-
whole song?
No, he doesn't play the whole song, but he plays in the intro. He's the main intro thing, along
Yeah.
with
And
who.
he sets the tone.
It's dun, 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 dun. It's super simplistic. It's like a simplified version of the melody, but I think it works perfectly because in the intro, no percussion is playing, except technically Shugatar. Because the OP thing about being a real guitar is the fact that people in real life can slap their guitar, and that's what Christian Bush does, and it's genius. It's the perfect percussive build-up in the opening. It's so perfect. Shugatar is like, I feel like it's probably heavily slept on. Because like, see, think of these monsters. None of melody-wise like being way better than everyone else. The point of the it's called the Sugar Fam for a reason. They're all a family. Everything works perfectly together. Everything builds up together perfectly to just create this perfect song where everything is balanced.
I feel like Shugabush Island as like an entire whole was like overlooked for the longest time, and people are only now starting to realize like how OP all of the aspects of it really are.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, you get to see all the little things like, wait a minute, Shugatar has percussive guitar slapping. How is that not used more often? That is so OP that I'm going to actually die of heart failure.
So we're talking about
You cut out.
sounding. Oh, okay. So we're talking about all these monsters for sounding so like OP, but I think there's one that's super simplistic, but also like here, Thwok. And who needs Thwok when you got Shugabass?
Uh,
It's hard to say who's the best bass monster, or just bass in general, between Thwok and Shugabass, because they're both amazing.
they're both
Thwok
like
works
perfect.
better for the kind of bass it is, but I think Shugabass is like, listen, Thwok like you get small taste like of like the reeling back, but like Shugabass, you can hear with sound every strum, every move of its hand over its strings. You can tell how much of a real bass it is. Like you can tell more than you can for even like the Plant Island Castle bass or Thwok. It's like so realistic because it's real.
And that's another reason why this island is OP. Like almost all of the instruments are real.
Shugabush is real.
Shugabush Island in real life.
Yeah. Like you don't need real instruments. Real instruments are an easy way to make any sound even better.
In fact, Sugabass was so realistic sounding to real basses that you couldn't hear him on most mobile devices.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
what?
that's his biggest drawback, because mobile devices don't have strong enough speakers to accurately like output bass noises. And because Sugar Bass is such an accurate bass, it was literally inaudible on most devices.
Yeah, when it came out, but luckily they fixed that, and now everyone knows the real strat. Get 5 sugar bases that like I do. He's so OP. When you're able to really hear him, he's like his melody is so good.
I bet.
Yeah, Sugar Bass is a great bass monster, and he's like the only bass monster ever that could even compete with the Walk.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot for bass monsters.
Well, I mean the competition is neither.
No, I'm just saying it's interesting how bass monsters can be considered like the creme de la creme.
Well, that's because basses are like the best instruments ever when used right.
Yeah, there's something about like how it's used like in this. It's just really like not crunchy in a bad way, but It's like the smooth kind of crunchy where it's like,
It's like crunchy, smooth peanut butter.
I guess,
Section.
where like you're taking a bite or whatever, but then it just hits you and you're like, wow.
Yeah, crunch is a great thing. Crunch is like there's a difference like crunchy and like a bad audio quality, but like I know what you mean by crunchy. It's like crispy.
Yeah, it's like crisp perfectly, where it's like,
It's like
where it,
in Ratatouille when they are feeling the bread.
Yeah,
They have to-
that's a good analogy. Alright, I feel like if we want to keep the hot streak going of like raving, we should save the 4 there for last and get Sugar Joe out of the way.
Sugar Joe,
Mama.
it's like, I like Sugar Joe. Because he's,
Listen, banjos are just really situational instruments.
I like the uses of
Although,
banjos, and I like how it's used. Because there's a, like, honestly, for every instrument, there's some kind of like calming essence to it. Banjos kind of like set you to like I don't know.
banjos feel like home.
Yes.
Sugar Joe is
Mama.
he is in the exact same boat as Sugar Guitar. He doesn't do the most. He is pretty important to the song structure because he's the outro. He's the big thing in the outro. He's the difference in the outro.
Yeah, he is to the outro what Sugar Guitar is to the intro.
Exactly. Like they're both small monsters, but they're pretty much essential for the song's opening. Like you think, oh, Sugar Joe, who cares? I want you to go listen to Shugabush Island with Sugar Joe muted or Sugar Guitar music muted. Like this, it's like here's the thing: the song being made like a real song. It's like it feels like a real song where like you don't realize how essential some of these monsters are to the song till you hear it without them, and you're like, oh my god, these monsters actually
I've been taking him for granted.
exactly.
And
And
then
that
you kiss.
easily applies for Sugar Joe. It's like he doesn't do like he's not going to be the crazy melody. You're not going to be humming Sugar Joe to yourself while walking to the park. But like you be like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to Shugabush Island, and you're like, wow, I don't have Sugar Joe. Who cares? She doesn't do anything. Then you're like, oh, and he's gone.
Plus, I mean, it doesn't. It obviously doesn't matter the impact of the island. Like this won't affect placements at all. But you can't just ignore the absolute meme lord status that Sugar Joe has.
Mama.
He is Sugar Joe Mama.
Amen.
So like,
Oof.
yeah, he's not as vital as the other ones, but he's still got that crisp.
He's still a part of the family.
Yeah. He's like,
And this
I mean, here's the thing.
family's
He's
a
playing the banjo.
hustle.
He's just the cousin from the south.
Yeah.
He's a
Dude,
little
He's the
weird, but
adopted cousin from the south.
Look at the last 4 we have.
Okay,
Where do
also,
we even start?
okay, before we move, just look at the 4 left. Just look at just look what we have left. Look at this golden platter of beluga whale eggs.
I like the thing above it though.
We've been staring at that the whole time.
He's just staring at you while it's like, go on, sweetie, keep doing your little podcast.
Oh my god. They have
So
no
anyway.
idea what this is.
You know, I might
They don't need-
indicate it.
Okay, I think. Okay, honestly,
Yeah, me too.
You cut out.
I think the top 2 have to be the last 2 because they go perfectly well together. So I say we go in order from bottom to top.
Alright.
Okay, damn.
It's time for the big guns, Shugabox.
You go ahead. Ooh, boy.
Alright,
The
so
main man.
my man Christian Bush has got the most buttery, silky smooth, like pleasing to listen to voice I've ever heard in my entire life.
His voice is like.
Suck.
What?
You can tell like you can just hear the experience, like the years and years of experience in his voice. Like he knows exactly where to draw that line where it gets close to oversinging, but before it crosses into the oversinging category, it stops right there, and it's like the sweet spot. It's like the oh yeah spot, and he itches there perfectly because he knows exactly what he's doing.
That's because he's a singer, and to like literally any other vocals, I think that literally Shugabush is, well, it's probably one of the most professional ones, but like, he's a singer. But this is a weird little schmuck, but this is just me. But his voice is like when you're making a sandwich and you do it and it's good. Yeah.
I agree, 100%.
Yay.
I love your
Literally,
analogies.
Thank
it's
you.
yeah, exactly that. It's just you're
Can I?
petting your cat and you scritch right behind the ear.
Scritch, 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 scritch.
That's what his voice does to your eardrums. It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I know what I'm doing because I'm Shugabush. Oh yeah.
Another thing I
Can
really
I?
like about Shugabush is the fact that you can like almost hear the smile on Christian Bush's face in most of the
I mean,
tracks. Like you could
I mean,
tell he had a blast recording these.
I mean, really, to make most of those sounds, his mouth had to be, such a way that it had to be like quite like angled to be a smile. But you're right, he probably did like enjoy this a lot because he was like, it's like, yeah, this is what I want to do, and I'm interested in it, and I enjoy doing
Yes.
this, and it's just, I wish people who did vocals kind of like took note, like nothing bad or anything, but like if you're gonna do something, you might as well just enjoy yourself doing it. You don't have to be like, oh, this may sound bad, or oh, I messed up a note. Like, yeah, you may have messed up a note, but if you're enjoying it, I mean,
Who
fair's
will
a
even notice?
game.
Unless
Yeah.
you're like Daniel on Cold Island.
Yeah. And I also want to say, like, I don't know if it was like they told him specifically, but from the way, from like just like the way this island is a passion project. It's very clearly a passion project between MSM and Christian Bush. Wanted to, he could have convinced them to let him sing the real lyrics, but he didn't. He completely respected MSM and the meaning of MSM and the silliness of it, and instead he just went like he took his real song and made a silly remix with the monsters in it, where he scattered stupid things like oh, ha.
He
It's
fucking
so
blows a
silly.
raspberry in one of his tracks.
You know what?
It's
I wish
some of
the
MSM.
Weirdos did this. I wish they didn't say English lyrics. That just breaks the
Well, then switch your
entire
game to
point of them
French.
being. Huh?
Does that even work?
I don't know. I
This is
don't
like a
think they would.
complete side tangent, but do the weirdos have like other language
No,
translations?
no,
No, they do
no.
not at all.
Oh, then they suck
Well,
all
then what's
around.
the point? Like, if you're going to have something singing English, just make it other languages too.
Music is an international language, and MSM was especially no meaning. The meaning was what you thought of it and what it gave you to listen to it, not not trying to figure out what lyrics mean, like with Box and the Wordos.
Yeah. I just wish that what they did with the Wordos was what they had with Shugabush. Like,
Honestly, I would not be
mm,
surprised if it was Christian Bush that decided to make the lyrics scatting.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't be surprised either,
Because
because
he said he loves the game. He plays the game. He loves
the
the
way the story
songs.
goes, as to what happened was literally it was like he saw his kid playing this game, and it's dumb and it's silly, but it's just so charming. Like its simplicity is so charming, and he went along with that charm. Sure, his tracks are probably a lot more complex than most of the rest of them, but he like just simplified everything to work, and then just had just his scatting just perfectly shows like it's literally just straight up dumb fun. It's just fun. Everything about Shugabush Island is just a fun island,
Yeah.
and Shugabox perfectly shows that with his raspberry.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? You have any input? You've been silent for like 20 minutes.
I'm in the middle of a Smash game, that's why. But yeah, Sugarbox, he's epic, dude. He is for the main vocalist. Like, come on, dog. Shugabush Island. Without him, it's not even Shugabush Island anymore. It's just like
Island.
It's Bush.
it's just island.
Bush Island.
I guess it'd be Sugar Island since it's Christian Bush, not Sugar Bush Christian.
Sugar. Christian Sugar.
Christian.
Sugar Christian.
Suga. BTS.
No, okay, it's time to talk. Let's move on before we begin rambling again.
Let's lay down the beat with
Sugar
the best
beat.
percussion in all of
Sugar.
them.
Sugar beat. Beat the beat.
In the
Rapper, hello, beat.
in the opening alone, Sugar Beats like cements himself as like the most OP percussion monster in the entire game.
The first seconds of Sugar Beat's first track sounds like the opening to like a cutaway scene in like some like Nickelodeon live action teen show or a coming of age movie where it's like a young, rough, rowdy, rooty tooty, fruity teenager sitting in their room playing video game, and then their mom yells at them, "Roxanne, you need to do the dishes." And the kid's like, "Whatever, mom." And then there's a kickflip or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it just plays his first track.
And
You know,
Yeah.
Pommy, that really helped me see how good Sugar Beats is.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Sugar Beats is like, you can translate it to like different things, and it's like good. Like, percussion usually isn't like horse gritty teeth bad. Like, you know,
Unless
horse
you're like
gritty teeth.
Bon Appetit.
Don't talk about.
I get it.
Don't talk about that. Anyways, we'll talk about that thing. But like, there's like something so big and like there's so much going on that just makes it like so good because it all comes together, and it's like when you're making
A sandwich and you're petting your cat behind the ear.
no, it's when you're making a sandwich and then you're like, I think this needs more onion. What? Maybe. No, it's like when you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich like on like something kind of like cute and normal, and you're like, I feel like I could have a side snack with this. So you're like, peanut butter jelly, cracker and cheese.
I've never
And-
had peanut butter and cracker and cheese.
Listen, when you mix the cheese and the peanut butter and jelly, it just kind of works.
Mommy, you're taking a long walk for a glass of water here.
I like water. I'm
Sugar
just
Beats is a
trying
good
to
monster.
say. I'm just trying to say.
Only drum kit monster that can work.
I mean, yeah.
Sugar
Listen.
Beats is sick.
Design doesn't matter when it comes to placements because this is all musically based, but I gotta mention that Sugar Beats is a Chad.
Sugar Beats is
We're all
like when you're making a Chadwich,
Chadwich.
and then you add the extra Chad on the side
Dude,
and on the Chadwich,
Sugar
and then you're
Beats
like Chad.
Sugar Beats is the peanut butter to the Shugabush Island sandwich.
I think Sugar Beats is the sandwich to the sandwich.
I want a sandwich now.
About
No, you don't.
sandwiches, and I've specifically am known for my sandwich talk in the past. So I will take this sandwich torch and put it out for now so we can actually talk about sugar beets.
Yeah, we've just been talking
So-
about literally nothing for like about 10 minutes.
This segment is 10 minutes long.
This is what you get for wanting me to talk, okay?
No, listen, listen, Pommy. I think this has been the best.
It's been the
Contributed
best.
so much, and you've been very helpful. But also, I think you are aware of what you're doing currently.
No, I wasn't. I'm just low-key kind of hungry, though.
Yeah, I have a. It's like, I got a feeling.
Oh god.
That sugar beets is really good.
Okay, so sugar beets. Let's break it down like Mammoth when he breaks it down in the next MSM trailer.
Wait,
So-
man has a breakdown?
Yeah, he breaks down crying because
Because sugar beets is so good, but
was
let's
really sad.
explain why.
Okay, so sugar beets. He's like, yo, he's sugar beets. Okay, so sugar beets. Okay, he's
He
on the
banged the
island, and
drum.
the song starts nothing. Then he comes in with his super OP. I don't know what it's called. It's like
Drum.
it's like a build up. It's a super OP
Cymbal.
build up. It's
Drum.
it's a great build up into the main thing. Then his melody, his rhythm is really
His melody.
simple.
His drum is
Entire
really
song, it's
simple.
simple but great. Yeah, his drum rhythm.
He
Okay,
drum.
he's drums. He's doing it the whole song,
Drums.
and then
Okay,
he's got
Pommy.
plenty of times where he brings back that the drum build up thing, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
one of the most OP tracks on the entire island. Especially like the way he brings it back. It's like perfect mix up to verses. Like they play the chorus 3 times. Like, oh, this feels like it's getting pretty old.
Yeah. What I like
Oh,
about...
never mind. This is Shugabush Island.
What I like about Sugar Beats is that he goes really, really, really good with another monster. That it's like his track is like so, it's not messy, but it's like messy in a good way where it's like all scattered-ish in a way, but then it kind of like collects itself. And then the other monster's like, and it's like, it sounds good, you know? Tastes
Yeah.
great.
I believe this whole song.
I'm gonna make a monster that makes that noise just so I can have you voice it that way. Alright, we spent a solid 15 minutes on sugar beets.
Sugar beet sandwich.
So, it's time to talk about my favorite monster on the island.
Sugar beet hamburger.
Dipsters.
Yeah, the dipsters. Honestly, the dipsters on this island are so good because they're not the dipsters, it's actually Sugabuzz.
I always mix
Sugabuzz
up what Sugar Buzz and Rock do.
Sugabuzz is the one that plays with I couldn't
Rock.
think of.
Sugar Buzz is the one that has like the funny like buzzy synth that goes like the funny like not synth is like a
Which
pedal
hat
on
does
his
he
guitar,
wear?
The top hat with the gear on it.
Alright, I like him.
You know that one, Ryan? And
Oh yeah, he's not the main electric guitar, but he's the slick one.
Yeah, he's the super cool one.
He's the grumbly Gru. He's the Gru.
He's Gru.
He is Gru, look at him.
He's like a sandwich.
No.
It's like
Aww.
Sugar Beats is not Sugar Buzz
Yeah.
is my favorite sugar too. So like I'm gonna try not to sugarcoat too much, but like it's such a different sound compared to everything else. But it's like so simple, adds so little, yet also adds so much. It's like it's okay. So this episode's theme is sandwiches. So you got the bottom bread of the sandwich with
What have I
bread is
created?
Sugar Joe, and the main thing in the middle is Sugar Buzz.
Yeah.
Because he's just the simple thing in the middle that's just going ham during the choruses, and then during the other verses, he has his OP track where it's like, huh, it's the same again, but then nope, he hits you with a dun 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 dun, just the good, super sick guitar riffs.
Yeah, he like makes the island for me because, like, yeah, the chorus is cool, but then I get to that octopus verse, and then I hear Sugabuzz, and I'm like, bro, what dimension is this?
I guess he just stands out. Like there's something about him. It's probably like the like of him that just like
It's funny
pop.
though because like in the full song, the only thing you'll ever be able to hear is the like sharp riffs. Like his funny little boop bap boop bap boop bap boop bap boop 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 bap boop bap. Like that is completely inaudible in the full song.
Yeah,
Which
but
is
that's
sad.
fine because it's not. It's like it's fine because it's a really good track, but also it's like just building up. Like I think that's something the main thing that for me that Shugabush does. It's like it's got like I think it really perfectly ties in with the gears on his hat. He's like got like just this like industrial feel to him, like
It's kind of like vintagey in a way. Not really that like not really vintagey, but like it's like hardworking.
yeah,
It's
it's
the
like very
70s.
industrial. It's
He's old.
like it's like really industrial. It's like it's similar to like Rebro in a way with like the industrial like
It's new.
the open hi hat kind of
Ew.
style. Like it's just like
New.
it feels very different. It feels and
It's,
it's a really good change up to the song.
yeah, it's like
You're
when
making
you're
a sandwich.
when you're making a sandwich and you put more ingredients.
When you put
Ew.
some cold plates of steel on that sandwich.
It's like when you're
Yeah.
making a sandwich and then you dip it in like when you know how people make swords and stuff where they dip it in the lava
Lava,
and they
yeah.
take it out and then and then you eat the sandwich
Yeah.
and it starts burning your mouth and you're like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like this. So then here's what happens next. You're like, ooh, you know what? That's it. I gotta do it. I gotta go to MSM Audio's YouTube channel to listen to Buzz
Beat
individual
Buzz.
sound.
I'm gonna listen to Sugar Beat
Individual sound.
Buzz.
It's like dun, 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 dun. It's
Buzz
like,
bit.
whoa, this is OP. I'm listening to this. And then he goes into dun 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 dun. And it perfectly transitions right into the next monster because now we're gonna talk about Sugar Rock.
Uh,
The track is
Ooga booga.
Shoutouts to Wah Pedals.
I mean,
Okay, we should
when
save
I
best for
see
last for him. Let's talk about his main track.
Oh, the chorus track? Okay,
Yeah.
literally, he is the entire chorus. He is the thing. And he is the chorus.
he's like the main leader. He's like everyone's like follow the leader, and he's just like
Yeah,
He's
he
riff
goes
for
he's,
them
so
rush.
he's just
well.
running.
Yeah.
The-
You got
this
Just-
monster goes so perfectly with Sugar Buzz.
Yeah.
you got
He's-
the Virgin Riff, and then you got the Chad Sugar Rock.
He's just living his best life.
Yeah, and his best life is making me happy.
He's
The-
living the sweet life.
Another
of
H word.
No.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. His chorus track is the main thing of like pretty much like the main body of the chorus. It's very busted. It just sounds great, but it's like it's just you got yourself a cheese sandwich. But his first track is like grilling that baby up and getting the best sandwich type in the world.
Wait, is that the one where it's like womp womp?
Yeah, it's the Wah pedal.
He's got
When
a wah pedal
when-
track and it plays twice in the song.
When
And-
I hear the womp pedal track, I'm like, wait a minute. Sugar Rock first track. Awooga. Humana humana. Eyes
Yeah.
pop out of head. Heart beats out of chest. Starts banging my head with a really huge hammer. Bonk 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 bonk.
Exactly.
Oh my
Awooga. Awooga.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's awooga, awooga, awoo, wah, 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 wah. Yo.
And then I
Okay,
faint.
yeah. So here's it's like the intro of this song is one of the best intros in any of the islands at all. Like everything just comes together perfectly. It's like guitar is starting everything up, and then you just hear what it's building up, and then everything perfectly builds up with sugar beats coming in. Everything just comes in perfectly. It's like sugar, and one of the main biggest things with that is sugar rock, and he's just so OP in every way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. There's just something about him that, like, with his first track, it's just like, it's so fun. Like, it's like when you're on a roller coaster and it go up and down. Like, oh yeah, baby.
Listen, that's why I love wah pedals so much. They're fun.
Yeah, 'cause they go whoop 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 and you go wee, and you go
It's kind of interesting how also the fact that Sugar Rock's first track is like a perfect transition into literally everything else, but then it's also a perfect transition into himself.
Hee-hoo,
Yeah.
hee-hoo.
It literally transitions into everything in the song.
I like.
Oh, I dropped something.
Aww.
Yeah, you dropped the
Aw,
beat.
come on, man.
I dropped the sugar beat.
Come on.
I'm sorry, am I being too noisy for you?
No.
Come on over.
I like Sugar Rock because when I first heard him, I was like, who is doing the womp womp? And then Sugar Rock was like, I'm doing the womp womp. And I'm like, are you? And then
It
he
took me
was
forever to
like,
find out who was actually doing that track.
me too, because I thought it was Sugar Buzz who was doing it. I was like, no, it can't be. I thought it was the other Sugars that held a really square guitar.
I thought it was Sugar Buzz for the longest time, simply because every single time I like zoomed in on him and focused on him, I literally couldn't hear anything. So it was like, well, I mean, he's got to do something.
I mean, that's basically the same as me thinking that Cybop used to be an ethereal.
No, he is.
Yeah.
Because I thought him and Jelly Belly were. Jelly Belly, oh my god, goodbye, guys.
Pommy was here in spirit.
Yeah, Pommy was here in spirit.
Listen, you can't say that because then they're gonna get
My watch!
I forgot
What?
his name. Anyways, you know, that one guy.
Yeah.
Rebro?
No, the one.
Gel.
Gel
Gel
Billy.
Billy.
I always mess their names up. I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So,
I said it first.
anyway, I don't even think I have to ask this question, but what's your thoughts on Shugabush Island as a whole?
Best
I
island
think-
in the entirety of MSM.
What
Yeah.
I think Shugabush Island is like when you're making a sandwich and you put the Shugabush Island in it, and you're like, "This is Shugabush Island sandwich. Eat up."
Yeah, and you eat it, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is the best
And then
sandwich
you
ever."
transform into your Shugabush self.
Yeah, the Sugar
Contest.
Bush Sona Sugar Lele.
So, listen. Okay. This island is
Sugar Matt.
so amazing in every single way. It's so professionally done. It just puts other islands to shame compared to, like,
Oh, of course it's put together
Or-
well.
then you listen to
It's
Sugar
based
Guitar
off
and
a genuine
oh
song.
my god. Yeah, everything is just, it's like Christian Bush just did so much great for this island. And then also another amazing thing with this island, like we haven't mentioned it like basically this entire video, but it's like literally my gimmick is hats. Sugar Bush's island gimmicks is hat. Like I can't just not have this be the best island ever.
Yeah.
I love their hats. I like their.
Also, I have
styling.
a question.
What is this question?
What would happen if you made them naked? Not naked. If you shave them, shave the bodies,
They'd probably
the
look like wood.
They'd be hot.
stupid. Would they be really skinny?
They'd be
Or
hot.
would they just be like really clunky,
Probably.
They'd be hot.
stupid? I like their fingers.
I like how all of their
Wait. Hold on. All of them have 3 fingers. No. What?
Sugar Beats has a thumb.
No. Shugabush has 4. What? The
Yeah, 'cause he
rest
has-
have 3. Huh? Wait. What? No.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Sugar
about it.
Fox is epic. He deserves an extra finger.
No, what? Why does he get more? Who let
No,
him?
listen, look,
Who
look,
let
look,
him?
here's the thing. Listen, look, the 2 monsters that don't play stringed instruments are the ones that get extra thumbs.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
That's so racist.
Anyway,
I can't even.
does anyone have anything else to say about Shugabush Island?
Yeah, I do.
Does it involve
Shugabush-
sandwiches?
No. Shugabush Island is it is
It's pretty good.
stop.
Alright, does anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah.
You know what? I think I have something to say about Shugabush Island.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think
Mm.
Shugabush Island is